Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I'm excited. Going to be visiting with Dr. K. For those of you that watch her on the Nat Geo Wild program, the amazing Dr. K program, she's going to be on the show with us today, and I'm excited to chat with her.
Very cool.
Got some fun stuff talking about, I believe, next season. So a lot of fun things. Hey, Royal Caribbean has ordered a cruise ship that fits 6,400 passengers. Some see inherent dangers in a cruise liner that big. Really? You think that could be dangerous? Well, think about this. The Titanic didn't hold that many people. It was way smaller, and that didn't end very well. This is huge. 6,400 passengers. That's a lot of people.
How many do they normally hold?
I think it's way less than that.
Huh.
So they're working on, I believe this would be the largest cruise ship in the world, I do believe.
Alrighty.
A woman in northeastern Brazil has given birth to what one doctor called a giant baby weighing 16.7 pounds. Mothers everywhere said, ouch!
Holy cow.
Yeah, 16.7 pounds. That's a big old baby. Speaking of big babies, I'm a big old baby, and I'm going to tell you about some fun things happening on this date, the 20th day of May. That is all on the way.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Friday, the 20th day of May. It is Eliza Doolittle Day.
What?
So I'm going to do little today as well, but Eliza's doing little. It is also Everybody Draw Mohammed Day, Endangered Species Day. Yeah, I know. I remember a cartoon a couple years ago that didn't go well. Endangered Species Day. It is International Virtual Assistance Day. O. Henry Pun of the Day. It is NASCAR Day, National Bike to Work Day, National Defense Transportation Day. What else do we have? National Pizza Party Day. We could do one of those.
Oh, I like pizza.
And Weights and Measures Day. So all of those things happening today. Get out there and celebrate however you'd like. I'm gonna do little because I like that part, but I'll also have some pizza. So I'm gonna do little while I'm doing pizza. That's my plan for the day.
There we go.
Coming up, we've got a field trip to remember. That's on the way.
Do you like fun t-shirts? Our friends at 80s Tees have a bunch of fun designs from the movies and pop culture. This month, we are giving you a chance to win a $25 credit to buy the t-shirt you like with designs from Star Wars, Superman, Ghostbusters, Deadpool, and hundreds of others. Sign up to win a $25 credit. Register for free right now at WinThisOnline.com. We will select 2 winners at the end of this month. You could be one of them, but only if you register at WinThisOnline.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Take a listen to this, Heidi. A field trip to remember. Remember when you used to go on field trips in school?
I loved field trips.
That was always fun. I always enjoyed that. We never once went to a field, though. I never understood that. Never tripped either during a field trip. Well, Jessica Webster had an interesting field trip. A high school senior learned a lot more than she expected during a recent field trip. Her Halleck, Minnesota business law class made a trip to a courthouse to learn all about the legal system. They were there just to see how the trial worked, but Jessica ended up in the middle of one. It seemed that the jury pool was short a person, and they drafted Jessica, the student that was there on a field trip.
Oh, my gosh.
She met the minimum requirements of being 18 and a county resident. Jessica was selected to sit on a 6-person jury. The judge says that she should get an A for doing her civic duty.
Well, it's a good learning experience for her, too.
Yeah, she's there on a field trip. She got roped into being a part of the jury. I got to admit, I've never been on a jury either. Have you ever been?
I have been selected for jury duty, but the case that I was on settled out of court before, so I didn't have to.
Oh, see, I thought maybe when you got in there, you're like, oh, that guy looks guilty. That guy looks guilty.
I was actually pretty
right
excited to do it, honestly. It was.
Can we give him the chair, Your Honor? What are you talking about? It's a speeding ticket. I don't know why they didn't select me. No, I've never even been called. I don't know what the deal is. I'm a registered voter. They just don't want me. I think they look on the list. They're like, no, we're not going to have this character. We have all kinds of fun going on. Anyway, this young lady, again, went there on a field trip, ended up being in the jury. And you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. A would-be robber goes to rob a drugstore, but calls on the way to say he's coming to rob it. 21-year-old man.
Oh, my gosh.
Was arrested calling a drugstore to say, hey, I'm on my way. And they're like, okay. You
What do you think was going to happen?
picking up prescriptions? He's like, I'm picking up everything. I'm coming to rob you. Joshua Amel was arrested in a parking lot at the drugstore. The police called to report a robbery, or the store called the police, rather, to report a robbery. Officers arrived. They were told the pharmacist was on the phone with the man that they believed was responsible for robbing the store. He said the man told him that he had a gun and was on his way to the pharmacy.
What an idiot.
So they got him before he even walked in. He was arrested
Jeez.
when he pulled into the parking lot. He was under the influence of drugs at the time.
Of course he was.
Do you think?
Yeah.
So there you go. Who would do that? Calling to let you know. This is your convenience call. I'm just calling to let you know. I'm just trying to be nice and let you know
Get
I'm coming
ready.
to rob the
I'm
place.
on the way.
If you're not into being robbed, well, you might want to leave because I'm on my way there. So, A for effort there, Joshua. That's what happens, kids, when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
What could be worse than falling off a skyscraper in New York, Heidi?
I don't know.
How about doing it on purpose, not once, but twice? Yeah, as if jumping off a building once isn't crazy enough. A New York postal worker has done it now twice. Donald Mathis loves to parachute off really tall buildings. I believe there's a name for that. Isn't that base jumping?
I think so, yeah.
Jumping off skyscrapers is illegal in New York. Oh, go figure. So the man was arrested. Why did he do it the second time? Well, because nobody noticed the first time. So he did it. He didn't get caught. He's
wanted
like, hey.
to get arrested?
I don't know that he wanted to get arrested, but he's like, hey, I got away with it. Nobody even noticed, and it was fun. So he went back up again to do it again. I can only imagine, going up. Does he walk up the stairs or take the elevator?
I would assume he takes the elevator.
I would assume so, too. But I remember as a kid going down like the water slide, and you'd run back up all excited to do it again. I'm assuming he was kind of like that.
I don't think
Going
so.
back up all excited to do it again, then
But
you
you
get
know what?
arrested.
If there would have been an elevator for the water slide, you probably would have.
Oh,
taken the
yeah.
elevator.
If there would have been an elevator for the water slide, I'd weigh even more than I do right now. I'm just saying. All right, we've got your scoop of the day on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. A 1-month-old baby has been checked and cleared by Los Angeles Hospital after being put through an airport x-ray machine.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, authorities at the L.A. International Airport. Isn't that the one they call LAX?
Yes.
Well, they say that an inexperienced traveler mistakenly put her grandson through the carry-on luggage screener.
Gosh.
A startled security worker noticed the shape of a child moving around and immediately pulled the baby out. So the lady that was traveling, she was like, oh, I didn't know. I thought I was supposed to put everything on that conveyor belt. No, not everything. Just your bags. That's all you put on there.
What
You
an
keep the
idiot.
kids. Hey, the sweet tooth trumps all. Even in an economic downturn, Americans are shopping for candy even as they pinch pennies in other places. Candyland's big players are seeing a bump in sales. Cadbury, Nestle, and Hershey all report rises in profits this year. So even when there are other places that are seeing economic
I gotta
downturns,
say, that's something that I continue to buy.
got to set your priorities.
Tough.
You're like, oh, I can't afford to pay all these bills. Hey, you going to the store? You want to grab me some chocolate? Sure, I can do that. What kind of chocolate? Joel Blayton might be a free man today had he planned his escape just a little more thoroughly. Blayton ingeniously installed a trap door in his trailer in the event that authorities might pay him a visit. However, when John Law came knocking, he got stuck underneath the trailer. He needed to get some help, and now he's in jail. 2 thieves in Hong Kong were left seeing red after they attempted to make a getaway when they robbed a jewelry store. The 2 had just stolen $65,000 worth of jewels. Then they hailed a taxi. Quickly, a huge car chase between police and taxi ensued. 10 minutes into the chase, officers switched 10 sets of traffic lights, all to red, to slow down their escape. The crooks jumped out of the taxi at one of the red lights and tried to get away on foot, but they were caught pretty quickly. So they've got ways to make those lights turn red. I wonder if I could get a button to make them turn green.
I doubt it.
I think there's
I don't think that's
there's
just
a
for
dude on the
average
internet
Joe.
that was selling those, and it doesn't work. But when people would call to report him, they were saying, so you were trying to buy something to change. So this guy he just kept selling them. They're like, you know what? If you want to steal money from idiots, that's fine. I think that's how the story went. I didn't get a receipt on mine. I didn't get my money back. No, I didn't really buy one. Hey, some airport workers called the police to report an FBI agent. Okay, it wasn't a real FBI agent, and he was nosing around at Sky Haven Airport in Rochester, New Hampshire, asking questions about security, pretending to be an FBI agent. A man wearing a jacket that said FBI anti-terrorism showed up at the airport, but workers were immediately suspicious because he didn't have proper ID. And even though he had the fanciest looking jacket you could possibly imagine, he was wearing flip-flops. They're like, you just don't know if this guy's legit. You think that's standard FBI attire right there? They were wrong, Heidi. The men commandeered the vehicle, but they didn't get very far. Turns out that a woman had a flat tire and was waiting for a tow truck. That's why she was pulled over. So they jumped out of that car and they took off in a different vehicle, leading police on a chase. Our silly friend soon crashed into a fence and hit part of a brick house and then were arrested. So a couple of guys thought they would do a getaway by taking a car on the side of the road. Hey, it's already pulled over. Yeah, it was pulled over for a reason. And our final story here from New Jersey, a teenager's prank almost got her parents in trouble. Traveling through Pennsylvania, a 15-year-old girl thought it would be really funny to hold up a sign in the window for passing motorists that said, "Help, we're being kidnapped." A driver saw the sign, reported it to the police, who then stopped the car, issued a citation before letting the family continue with the trip. So the kid, 15-year-old girl, thought that it would be funny, holding up a sign telling motorists, "Help, we're being kidnapped." Well, they called the police, which is a good idea. You should do that.
Well, yeah.
If you see somebody with a sign saying we're being kidnapped, do that. But kids, if you're not really kidnapped, don't do that. That's just dumb. Time for our strange law. In Ohio, it is illegal to get a fish drunk. I think we've talked about that from another state. So now at least one state, maybe two states, it's illegal to get fish drunk. At least it is in Ohio. That is a strange law. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
Do you like fun t-shirts? Our friends at 80s Tees have a bunch of fun designs from the movies and pop culture. This month, we're giving you a chance to win a $25 credit to buy the t-shirt you like, with designs from Star Wars, Superman, Ghostbusters, Deadpool, and hundreds of others. Sign up to win a $25 credit. Register for free right now at winthisonline.com. We will select 2 winners at the end of this month. You could be one of them, but only if you register at winthisonline.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We've got a special guest joining us on the line, Dr. Susan Kelleher, also known as Dr. K, featured on Nat Geo Wild in the program Dr. K's Exotic Animal E.R. We've had a chance to talk to her on the program before, but we've got her back because we've got some exciting, fun stuff going on. Dr. K, how are you?
Hey, great. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic. Well, we're glad to have you, and congratulations on another season that's going to be getting started here soon. You guys are kicking off another season Saturday night, is that right?
Yes, we are. Saturday night, May 21st at 9 on Nat Geo Wild. We get to see some different stuff this week. Just when you think you've seen it all. This coming week, we're going to have a middle-aged macaw that has come in from, having almost bled to death and has a tumor we have to delicately remove. We have a marmoset coming in having a miscarriage, and I believe a duck and a turtle as well. So.
Never a boring day at your office, is there? Every day has got to be just exciting and interesting.
Yeah, I love my job. For 21 years, I'm not bored, that's for sure.
Well, let's talk a little bit about, you said 21 years. You've been doing this for quite some time. What led up to the program on Nat Geo Wild? I always find it fascinating to see how all that works out.
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. Nobody's asked me that. It was very mysterious, bizarre process. They became interested in doing a show on exotic animals in a veterinary setting. They found us via our website. They came out and sent a film crew from England to tape what's called a sizzler reel. Yeah. About 9 minutes showing our daily activities. And at first it was rejected by the executives of Nat Geo Wild. They had Skype interviewed us and they were all ready, but then they just didn't like the sizzler reel. So I was very apprehensive anyway about it because it's already a very busy, stressful job. Yeah. And then you add a camera crew on top of that. But I thought, well, that was neat to be considered. Move on. And then we got a phone call from another producer, Guy Nickerson in Tampa, that Nat Geo Wild really liked us and liked the stories, and they wanted to give it another try. I guess the English shoot things in a very documentary style, which is what English people like, but Americans like stories. So they came back and shot another sizzler reel, which I guess is a pretty rare situation. I didn't know that. And they loved it, and now we're going into season 3.
Well, I'm really glad they came back for that second shot, because this is such a fun program. For those of you that not had a chance to watch it, it's again, another season premiering here. It's a great opportunity for you to do it. But set your DVR also to watch some of the other episodes. It's a fun show, and it looks like you guys have a fun time. But also, I just look at the completely interesting variety of animals that come through there. Where do these things come from?
Oh, honestly, it's one of the reasons I moved to South Florida is I wanted to be in an area of the country that had a large concentration of exotic pets. And I'm very blessed to not only have that, but also have amazing pet families and owners that just integrate these animals into their families and seek out state-of-the-art care for them. You know, they're compassionate and compliant and very, very devoted to these pets. You got to remember that these are very, very not only different animals, but the lifespans are very unusual, not our normal, 10, 15, 20-year lifespan for dogs or cats. I have animals in my practice that are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Wow.
And they have been part of the families their whole lives. So that adds a very different element to the human-animal bond. And, on any given day, like just yesterday, for example, I don't think I saw the same species in any 2 different appointments, and I probably had 13 or 14 appointments yesterday. It went from a pot-bellied pig to a rabbit to a bearded dragon to a squirrel to a cockatiel, and it just kept going on and on.
And a partridge in the pear tree.
Right.
Again, visiting right now with Dr. Susan Kelleher, also known as Dr. K. That's what most people know Dr. K as, from Nat Geo Wild's Dr.K's Exotic Animal E.R. And let's talk again about the new the season premiere that's coming out. When is that happening again?
It's going to be Saturday, May 21st at 9 p.m. on Nat Geo Wild. They do want me to tweet, and I'm going to attempt to Twitter during...
Oh, nice. So you're going to do some live tweeting during the show.
Theoretically, yes. I did it last year. I'm sure I can figure it out again.
Live tweeting is way better than dead tweeting, so live tweeting is much more preferred. So, well, it's really fun to chat with you. I know you've got other people that want to chat with you because you got this episode, the new premiere coming out, and you said you guys just started filming the next season as well, so that's kind of underway as we speak too?
Right. They're starting July 5th. We're going to start filming another season. Well,
I wish you the very best. I know that it's going to be exciting and fun, and it's always fun to watch. So, Dr. K, thank you for taking time to chat with us today.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. Again, Dr. Susan Kelleher, also known as Dr. K, and Dr. K's Exotic Animal E.R. premieres Saturday, May 21st at 9/8 Central on Nat Geo Wild. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Bob Dole is 10 years older than the Empire State Building.
Really?
How crazy is that? Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Blue sky laws. You ever heard of blue sky laws?
No.
Blue sky laws deal with stocks and bonds.
Okay.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
Are you going to explain that further?
No, that's what blue sky laws. Have you ever heard something about blue sky? It's all about stocks and bonds.
Okay.
There you go. Fun fact for you,
What's that,
Heidi.
John?
The most popular casino table game is... What do you think?
Poker.
No, it's blackjack.
Oh.
Yeah, blackjack. I can play that. I can't play poker. That takes
I like
patience.
poker.
Blackjack, you can lose your money really quick. Poker takes all night. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Vodka means little water in Russian.
Really?
And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Roy Rogers' horse was named Trigger.
I did know that.
Trigger, of course.
I knew that.
There you go. That's Roy Rogers' horse. That's a couple of fun facts for you on a Friday.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by RadioReallyWorks.com. I know you're listening to a podcast, but did you know the John and Heidi Show is also a radio show? And for those of you who have businesses, you should consider using radio to advertise your business. We can even help you create some catchy little jingles or amazing radio ads that will help pull people in. Get all the details or just learn more at RadioReallyWorks.com. That's RadioReallyWorks.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Did you know that your mail is lying to you, Heidi?
What do you mean?
The U.S.
Does
Postal...
that mean my husband?
No, mail, like your U.S. mail. Funny. No, not me. The U.S. Postal Department says these are the 5 biggest fibs told to consumers in junk mail.
Okay.
The number one, I'll start with number 5. Number 5 is you've been selected to receive a fabulous vacation.
Right.
But after you go through and pay the one-time membership fee, you're stuck with a bad vacation and accommodations that are no good. So be careful on that one. Number 4 on the list of things that are big fibs that come to you through the mail, your humble assistance is highly solicited in the transferring of millions of dollars available from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company to share with your good self, as we need your bank account number.
Right.
It's a scam. It was happening
do that.
in the mail way before it started happening online. They're not going to give you any money. Don't do that. Another big scam that happens through the mail says stuff envelopes at home and earn big money. Yeah, that's one that
I remember those.
Doesn't work out. Scam, you send money for this plan, and you're supposed to send letters to other people to send money for a plan too. So you can make money stuffing envelopes at home as long as you're okay with, doing the same thing that they did to you. Most people go, yeah, I'm not going to scam other people. Another one, number 2 on the list. We're almost to number 1. Number 2 is the chain letter, and it says this chain letter is legal. Any chain letter that asks for money is illegal. So do not be a part of a chain letter, because if you do that, you can actually be arrested, and that is mail fraud.
I didn't know
that?
chain letters were illegal.
Oh, yeah, they're illegal. And the number one thing on the list from the U.S. Postal Department, that's what I meant to say, of the biggest fibs told you through junk mail, you are a guaranteed winner.
Yeah.
Usually you're asked to pay for something in order to get a prize, which ends up being junk. So they're saying, no, you're not a guaranteed winner. Unless you bought a lottery ticket or something like that, and you actually were involved in some sort of thing, but they're not going to just randomly select an address and say, hey, congratulations, even though you didn't sign up, you're the winner. There you go. From the U.S. Postal Department, a couple of things that you might want to look out for, fibs in the mail. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVWheelator.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVWheelator.com.
Nothing says happy birthday like a group of police officers showing up in bulletproof vests. Now, this sounds like a party. 11-year-old Roland Hooper was recently eating his birthday cake when 2 armed response cars and a riot van showed up. Seems like the birthday boy was shooting a pellet gun at the neighbor's house, and he was taken into custody and questioned for 2 hours before being released on bail. The pellet gun was just given to him as a birthday gift from mom and dad. They claim their son was only firing at a target in the backyard. But the neighbors said, hey, our neighbor kid is shooting at our house. 11-year-old Roland Hooper, happy birthday to you. Don't shoot at your neighbor's house. That's quite a lesson to learn on your 11th birthday.
It is.
So we got way more people at this party than we were expecting. We didn't know the flak jackets were coming. Yeah, 2 armed cars and a riot van showed up because of an 11-year-old with a pellet gun. But you never know. When they called in,
when
I'm
they
sure
say he's shooting at my house, they
they
assumed it was a gun.
And they probably had no clue he was 11 and it was a pellet gun. They
Right.
just assumed some crazy kid with a gun was shooting at my house. So there you go. That's what happened. So happy birthday, Roland Hooper. Coming up, in the name of science. All right, the headline, Heidi, says, in the name of science, a science experiment goes terribly wrong at an elementary school. This thing went horribly wrong when a solid fuel rocket built by kids for a school science project landed on a house.
Oh, no.
It caused hundreds of thousands of dollars damage. I shouldn't be laughing.
Oh, no.
The school's annual science project was launched from the school's playing field, and it sparked a fire after hitting a neighbor's property. So this thing usually would just go up in the air, and then it would come down and land, and, everybody would clap.
Yeah.
They're like, woo!
I bet they won't do that experiment again.
Science! Well, this time it went up, and it hit a house and caught the house on fire. And they're like, ooh, neato, science and fire. So that didn't work out the way we planned. I wonder if the kids failed that class. Do you think they...
No, it wasn't their fault.
Well, I don't know.
The teacher definitely should have.
Burned the house down, and I still got a B. There you go. That all happened in the name of science. Coming up, is your child embarrassed to be seen with you? What you can do on the way.
Do you like fun t-shirts? Our friends at 80s Tees have a bunch of fun designs from the movies and pop culture. This month, we're giving you a chance to win a $25 credit to buy the t-shirt you like, with designs from Star Wars, Superman, Ghostbusters, Deadpool, and hundreds of others. Sign up to win a $25 credit. Register for free right now at WinThisOnline.com. We will select 2 winners at the end of this month. You could be one of them, but only if you register at WinThisOnline.com.
We have 2 kids, one that's 19 and one that's, what is she, 14?
She's 14.
Yeah, she'll be 15 this year. I can never remember. I always, for whatever reason, I always have her like a year older in my mind. But I think our kids, for the most part, they're not too embarrassed to be seen with us. But there are times.
We're the cool parents.
Yeah.
At least that's what we tell ourselves.
There are times that we're nowhere near cool. So if your child is embarrassed to be seen with you, what can you do? These are some tips. Number 1, don't take it personally. It's not about you. It's not about your outfit or your lipstick or the way you cheerfully liven up conversations. Yeah. It's simply the fact that, in their mind, they want to pretend like parents don't exist. Yeah. So it's not you, it's me. No, it's not you, it's them. I don't know, whatever it is. But don't take it personally. The second thing on the list says, this does not mean your kids get to treat you as though you're the carrier of some contagious disease. You're the one that drove them 45 minutes through the snow to get to a movie. Being a doormat is not the way to go. It says, but whining and begging your child to treat you nicely doesn't work either. So, but you should have the conversation with them saying, we'll go to the theater, but when we walk in, could you please at least act like you know me?
Right.
When you walk in there and I ask if you want popcorn, don't say, stranger danger. Remember last time? Finally got out of questioning after the movie was done. Next thing says, start by adapting a more amused point of view to the whole thing. And I think this is what we do all the time.
Pretty much, yeah.
They want to pretend like they don't know us. We're like, oh, really? You want to see her baby photos? Look at this. All of a sudden, they quit pretending they don't know you instantly. And then all of a sudden, that's my dad and he's nuts. Don't believe a word he says. And then the last thing on the list here, if your kids are embarrassed to be seen with you, set realistic standards for how you and your kids will overlap, because they're going to go through these stages. So it says here, don't take it personally. One day you'll find yourself rocking out with your youngster as you're driving down the road, and then the next day they're going to act like you are the weirdest person in the world. So they go through these phases. But, set realistic standards. We like to sing along really loudly in the car.
Always.
We just turn up the music and sing as loud as we can, and the kids are in the back rolling their windows up, pretending like they don't know us. A couple of fun little tips right there from the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news, Heidi, and I think this is good news.
Okay.
This is something that kind of, flies in the face of what you typically think, but here's the headline. It says, it's okay to tell your kids that it's okay to fail. Okay?
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
It says here, telling your kids that it's okay to fail will actually make them fail less, which sounds redonkulous, but it's true. So there's new research to back this up. Here's what researchers told a group of 6th graders. Learning is difficult, failure is common, but practice will help, just like learning how to ride a bicycle. End quote. It says other groups are not so... other groups... Let me try that again. Other groups got no such pep talk. Guess which group performed better on the memory and reading comprehension tests?
Yeah, the ones that were told that it's
the
all
kids
right.
that got the pep talk.
Yeah.
So just say, hey, it's okay. If you fail once in a while, it's not a big deal. I remember reading...
But absolutely, because you learn from failures.
You should.
So it's absolutely okay to fail.
I remember reading a book. The man happened to grow up in the same town that I grew up in, but the USA Today, remember that newspaper?
Yeah.
The founder of the USA Today, Al Newharth, he has a book that he passed away recently, so he's gone now. But there was a book where he talked about something that happened in his youth. He had a newspaper that he put out, and it sounds funny to think this, but it was so successful that it failed. And let me explain that. He had so many people that wanted to read it, that he had so many subscriptions, but the advertising that they were selling wasn't covering the cost of printing, and it went out of business.
Yeah.
And it happened when he was really young. And in his book, he said, it was the best thing that could have happened to me at that age.
Because he learned what not to do.
He's like, I found out that you can fail, and you get up and you brush yourself off and you move forward.
Yeah.
I failed at many things in life, and I continue to fail at many things in life. One of these days I'm going to learn from it, and then I would have a really good story to share with that. But no, it really is absolutely true. Failure is not the end. It's only the beginning, as long as you learn from it. So there you go. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Bonus break brought to you by WinThisOnline.com, where the winning is just the beginning. If you want to give away prizes on this website, no matter where you're from, if you're listening right now from some other part of the world and you're saying, hey, I'd like to give away a prize for my business, reach out to them. The site is free to use right now. They've got a trial period where you can utilize it for free. Even after you get past that, it's very, very affordable. So check it out. See if you like it first for free. No credit card needed. Nothing to try it. Go to WinThisOnline.com to get all the details. Twitter plans to stop counting links and photos in their limit. I think this is a good idea. You may soon have more space to tweet, Heidi. Sources say Twitter will stop counting links and photos in their 140-character limit. The current links take up 23 characters. The change could happen in the next couple of weeks. What would you think of sitting down to have a can of Amazon pork and beans?
Okay.
Could happen in the future. No longer content. Hey, how you doing over there? I have my reading glasses on too, believe it or not. No longer content with simply being your book, electronics, music, grocery distribution center, and many other things, Amazon might be looking to expand their private label products. Are you ready for Amazon coffee?
Oh, my gosh.
How about Amazon pork and beans? Sources say the company is planning on introducing their own generic brands, Amazon brand, of food and household goods like coffee, diapers, and other fun things to compete with your favorite brands. So get ready to taste the Amazon. It's going to be here before you know it. A guy is running 401 marathons consecutively.
Whoa.
That's a lot of running.
That's a whole lot of running.
Ben Smith has run over 260 marathons in as many days. His goal is to run 401 marathons in 401 days. That's over a year.
Wow.
He's doing this to raise funds for the anti-bullying and equality cause in the United Kingdom. Smith from Bristol, England, was, quote, badly bullied for years at school, end quote. He hopes to raise $360,000 with his efforts of running 401 marathons in 401 days.
How is that going to raise money?
I don't know. I was thinking the same thing. That's cool if you can raise money by running a marathon. You know, has he got a sponsor maybe? I have no clue.
I don't know.
All I know is I'm probably not going to be the guy doing it. This next story would be a lot more closely associated with me than the marathon guy.
Okay.
So keep in mind, Mr. Marathon, 401 marathons in 401 days. Now picture this. 300-pound shoplifter couldn't run, so he got caught.
Okay. I'm sure you did.
I don't shoplift, thank goodness, but I am 300 pounds. A Florida man stuffed a couple of steaks down his pants. Then he punched a loss prevention officer as he was trying to hightail it out of the store. He weighs 300 pounds. It didn't take long for the police to catch up with the very slow-running, sweaty, out-of-breath man. So he just wanted a couple of steaks. He stuffed them in his pants.
I feel bad for the loss prevention officer.
I do too.
He's doing his job.
Yeah, and this chubby guy said, get out of here. I need a steak. Leave me alone. I'm hungry. You know, I've never stolen a steak, and I don't want to do it. But if I was going to steal a steak, I would not stuff it down my pants.
No, because who would want to eat it when you
No, I don't even want it. So,
gross.
You need to
You wouldn't need salt.
You know, you need to return these steaks. Put them back on the shelf, Jimmy. That's your bonus break. I think we need to stop there. It's brought to you by WinThisOnline.com. Hey, we just added 2 steaks from a grocery store in Florida. Whoa. No, we didn't really. WinThisOnline.com, where the winning is just the beginning. If you'd like to win all kinds of cool stuff, and there are no steaks that have been in some dude's trousers on the site, but there are trousers. If you want to get some really cool pants from Zubaz. I have some Zubaz, and I love them. Mm-hmm. I'll be a testimony to Zubaz, how comfortable they are. I wear them around the house all the time, and I wear them out of the house when Heidi lets me. But they're really cool, and I'm going to get some Zubaz shorts for this summer. They're going to be really, really cool.
I can't wait.
You can learn more at winthisonline.com.